next time they shine your light in the sky, don't go to it. The bat is dead. Bury it. Consider this mercy.
Tell me. Do you bleed? You will.
Welcome to another edition of Classic Comic Talks. And today we're going to talk about Zack Snyder's new projects, then Henry Cavill's uh, gonna be in Voltron, the live movie, plus some Wednesday news. So, our first topic is, of course, Zack Snyder's new projects. The the 300 prequel uh, news was confirmed last May, and now another uh, Zack Snyder news has presented itself. Let's share the screen. All right. Basically, Zack Snyder's next film will set in the world of the UFC, and Adam Driver offered the lead role. In case you're wondering what might be next for Zack Snyder, especially after the epic scale of his two Rebel Moon movies, well, he's going to be doing the total opposite of that. In July, Snyder told Real Blend that his next film was smaller in scale to Rebel Moon and would not have any VFX. According to Zack, I'm trying to do a small movie right now. I'm not going to say that it is, but I was like, can I just do a movie without any visual effects it for like 5 minutes? In it for just 5 minutes. Then I'll go back to the insanity. I'm supposed to be writing this movie, and that's kind of what I want to do. So, according to news source, Snyder said that his next film, which is planned at Netflix, would be set in the world of UFC. Zach Balin co-wrote the screenplay with Snyder. It's planned as a theatrical film with the UFC, including its president, Dana White, being directly involved. Locations have been locked and they include Riyadh in Saudi Arabia and Las Vegas for key scenes. So it has a lot of backing. As for the casting, it's all early, but I've been told that Snyder has approached Adam Driver for the lead role. I would emphasize that at the moment, Driver isn't confirmed. Uh, he's just been approached. The actor is currently acting on off Broadway in Kenneth Lonergan's Hold On to Me Darling, which is set to run throughout the fall. Otherwise, Driver has no other film project lined up, save for his rumored involvement in Michael Mann's Heat sequel. It was just a few months ago that Snyder was hinting at making a third Rebel Moon movie, but the response for the first two installment must have certainly put the project on permanent hold. I'd been very surprised if Netflix decides to greenlight another one. One look at Snyder's filmography, and it consists of mostly for those big and epic statements. So it will be interesting to see him making something a little smaller, which he hasn't done since 2004. His 2004 debut, Dawn of the Dead. Then again, making a UFC film isn't any stretch a modest endeavor. It just feel small when compared to his other works. So this was written by Jordan Remy. All right, weird, right? And yeah, that was the news. And add that with the 300 prequel series to be aired, to be produced by Warner Brothers and set to release on HBO sometimes. Well, it seems that we'll get uh, Zack Snyder doing other projects other than his own. And I can't wait for both projects to uh, to bear fruit. Next topic is Henry Cavill planned to star in the Voltron live live film adaptation. So basically, check this out. All right, Amazon MGM Studios taps Henry Cavill to lead live action Voltron adaptation from the Red Notice director. This is written by Jorge Arenas. Who doesn't love giant robots and classic mecha anime? Well, it seems that Amazon and MGM Studios is ready to bring that love to the big screen as the studio has secured Henry Cavill to star in the highly anticipated live action adaptation of Voltron. Set to enter production this fall under the direction of Red Notice filmmaker Rawson Marshall Ferber, Voltron will ostensibly, like the cult favorite show from the 1980s, tell a story about five pilots who control robotic lions that combine to form the powerful mega robot Voltron. Though the plot details for the upcoming live action film remains under wraps, it is known that Ferber wrote the script in collaboration with Ellen Shanman. uh, Cavan. Cavill won't be the only notable actor jumping into the world of the Beast King Go Lion and Kiko Kantai Dairuger uh, 15, for both which were adopted and rebranded in the US as Voltron, Defender of the Universe, as Daniel Toy, a rising star with an impressive background in West End theater, is set to co-star. Other casting updates and plot details developments are sure to follow as the studio will likely want to build anticipation for the project as filming approaches completion. The Voltron movie will feature a team of co-producers including Todd Lieberman, uh, World Events Productions, Bob Kopler, and David Huberman through his company Hobie Films. Turbo will also be producing the project. Notably, this development seemingly signals the studio's willingness to sweeten the pot for Cavill, as the star is still slated to also work in Amazon's upcoming Warhammer 40K adaptation, which is currently set uh, to executive produce. To this end, his collaboration with the studio of two huge sci-fi projects sets him to sets him up to become one of the most influential figures in the genre today. Hopefully, particularly in the light of Amazon MGM's penchant for high caliber content, his time working on Voltron and Warhammer will be a far cry from his experience with Netflix attempt at The Witcher, which has soured many fans, especially since his much talk about departure. Not only is Henry Cavill known for his role as Superman, but he has also become a meme of sorts. All over the internet, you'll see posts about his love for gaming, Warhammer, World of Warcraft, and comics. So Amazon tapping Cavill seems to signal that the studio is at least somewhat aware of his online status and how his involvement can bring positive attention to their attempt at adding to the Voltron franchise. The upcoming Voltron movie marks the latest attempt to bring beloved anime franchises to a broader audience, with the most recent being Netflix animated series Voltron Legendary Defender, which was patient zero for the concurrent wave of teenage bullying each other over shipping choices. No one has Now one has to wonder if Cable's involvement truly signals that Amazon MGM is serious about delivering a legit Voltron experience. Either way, shooting is set to begin this fall. All right. Now that's good news. The live version of Voltron is something I'm eagerly awaiting. Our last topic for today is, of course, Wednesday, with season two coming, and we'll revisit season one and check if it's still the same. So, the, the premise of Wednesday is Wednesday was expelled from her school after dumping live piranhas into the school pool in retaliation for the boys' water polo team bullying her brother Pugsley. Yeah, she was sent to Nevermore. And the the characters, the characters for the series are the main characters, of course, Gina Ortega as Wednesday Adams. She's a teenager, which who possesses psychic powers. Ortega also plays Goody Adams in season one, uh, Wednesday's uh, ancestors from the 1600s. She's the daughter of Morticia and Gomez Adams, and she sees visions of the past, the present, and the future. She's a goth girl, true and true, which makes her a bit really annoying, but you know, dark and funny at the same time. The next character, of course, is Enid Sinclair, portrayed by Emma Myers. She's Wednesday's colorful werewolf woman at Nevermore. She's, of course, uh, not wolfing out until the last episode of the season. So, episode one is entitled Wednesday's Child of Full Wednesday's Child is Full of Woe. Yeah. This was directed by Timothy Burton, written by Alfred Goh and Miles Miller. So Wednesday Adam finds her brother Pugsley tied in a locker. She sees a psychic vision of his bullies, whom she then attempts to kill, resulting in her expulsion. Her parents, Morticia and Gomez, decide to enroll her in Nevermore Academy, their alma mater, and a school for outcasts in Jericho, Vermont. Meanwhile, a hiker is killed by an unknown creature near Nevermore. Wednesday's parents release Ting, a sentient disemboweled hand, to watch over her. She meets her roommate, Enid, her complete opposite, and duels with Bianca, the popular girl, after Bianca bullies a boy named Rowan. Later, Wednesday is nearly killed by a falling gargoyle, but is saved by Bianca's ex-boyfriend, Xavier. After escaping her court-ordered therapy session, Wednesday meets Tyler, a barista who agrees to help her escape from Nevermore. However, she is apprehended by Principal Larissa Weems and taken back to the school. Later, Tyler and Wednesday meet up at a local carnival, and Wednesday has a vision of Rowan's death. Rowan attempts to kill her, but is murdered by a monster. Note that Principal Williams is played by Gwendolyn Christie. Now, this episode gives us a preview of what to expect for this 2022 series. It's hard to imagine that this is nearly 2 years old. And honestly, I already watched this at Netflix for 3 times already. So, episode two, Woe is the loneliest number. Wednesday convinces a skeptical Sheriff Galpin that the perpetrator of the murders is in fact a monster. Suddenly, Rowan reappears unharmed. Wednesday doubts her sanity and decides to investigate the murders herself. She roams the campus, inquiring about Rowan, and is told that he has been expelled. Meanwhile, Wims grows worried about Wednesday's vision, keeping close tabs on her. Wednesday confronts a defensive Rowan as he leaves the school and sends Ting following him. Ting loses him, and Rowan is revealed to be Principal Wims, who has shapeshifted into him. Wednesday has vision of a book belonging to an old student society. In her search for the book, she overhears Bianca planning to rig the upcoming student tournament. Wednesday joins Enid to defeat Bianca and win the tournament. Later, Wednesday discovers a hidden library within the school where she is captured. So this is the first time that Wednesday joined the the secret society in the school, and this also shows the amateur aspect of Wednesday's detective skills, since She's a work in progress. Her detective work is quite sloppy, you know, but it feels like a Nancy Drew type of thing, so it's enjoyable. Episode 3 is Friend or Woe. Wait, I forgot to change the labels for the episodes. So we're back. Friends or Woe. Wednesday finds herself tied up and surrounded by members of an elite student society, including Bianca and Xavier. Wednesday frees herself and leaves the library, taking one of the books with her. Sims orders Wednesday to accompany the high school band to a high school to, to an upcoming town ceremony run by Mayor Noble Walker. A drawing in the purloined book leads her to an exhibition at a local fair where she notices the paintings of a girl she had seen in her vision. In the forest, Wednesday envisions the girl, believed to be an ancestor of hers, escaping the execution of the town's outcasts at the hands of its founder, Joseph Craxton. Wednesday is ambushed by the monster, which she discovers by its footprints to be human. Back in town, Wednesday disrupts the ceremony by having Ting destroy a commemorative statue of Joseph Craxton and is scolded by Principal Wims. While investigating a crime scene in the forest, police find a camera that captured photographs of the monster. Well, this is one of those episodes that continues what happened from previous ones. Since Principal Weems heard Wednesday play the cello, she gave permission to Wednesday to play the cello for the festival. And yeah, and chaos ensued. Episode 4. Woe, what a night. Wednesday and Ting break into the coroner's office to copy the files of the monster's victim. In trying to identify a pattern, she finds that each victim has had body parts surgically removed. Wednesday becomes suspicious of Xavier and follows him into his art studio, where she discovers several drawings of the monster, which led her to the monster's cave. There she retrieves one of its claws and gives it to Sheriff Gulpin for DNA matching. Wednesday and Tyler attend a school dance together. Meanwhile, classmate Eugene, who is privy to Wednesday's investigation work, witness a cloaked figure blow up the monster's cave. The dance is interrupted by Mayor Walton's son, Lucas, who triggers the building fire sprinklers in revenge for Wednesday's disruption of the town ceremony. Wednesday senses that Eugene is in danger and heads into the forest only to find him gravely injured by the monster. So, this is the episode where Wednesday dance. Gina Ortega dancing to the music of an old punk rock band. And also, this shows how wrong Wednesday's uh, suspicions are on who the actual monster is. But, This was a fun episode, and I like especially that well, all that's happening with Wednesday and the gang. Episode 5, You Reap What You Wool. This is a flashback from 32 years earlier. Gomez Adams was arrested at Nevermore on suspicion of killing Garrett Gates, a descendant of Joseph Craxton. In present time, the Adams visit Wednesday on Parents' Weekend at Nevermore. A family therapy session is cut short when Wednesday confronts her parents about the suspected murder. Meanwhile, Sheriff Galpin learns that the coroner committed suicide after admitting to fabricating Gates' autopsy report. Galpin concludes that Gomez is guilty and arrests him. In prison, Gomez reveals to Wednesday that he was covering for Morticia, who actually killed Garrett. Wednesday and Morticia dig up Garrett's grave to find that he has been lethally poisoned before he was killed, but are caught by police and arrested for the night. Later, they confront Mayor Walker, who reveals that Garrett intended to poison the entire school due to his father's hate for outcasts. Mayor Walker agrees to release Gomez after admitting to covering up Garrett's motive, but back at Nevermore, Principal Williams reluctantly admits to covering up Rowan's death by means of shape-shifting in an effort to evade controversy at school. So, basically, episode 5 is a year in, year out cover up for what happened at school at Nevermore. And the family bonding of and healing for the Adams are shown here and somewhat uh, successful for Morticia and Wednesday. Patch thing up, patch things up, and it shows that Garrett has been poisoned. Garrett, what's the name? The the descendant of what's his name? Joseph Craxton. Episode 6, Quid Pro Quo. Wednesday attempts to summon Goody, an ancestor and a fellow psychic who killed Craxton. During a surprise birthday party, Wednesday has a vision of Goody, who instructs her to seek out the Gates mansion. There she witnesses Mayor Walker as he is leaving the building and sneaks into his car. After arriving back in town, Mayor Walker is hit by a car and severely injured. Principal Weems locks down the school and forbids Wednesday to leave campus. With Tyler and Enid's help, she escapes and returns to the Gates mansion, where they discover that Laurel Gates, Garrett's younger sister, long believed to be dead, might still be alive. They find the severed body parts of the monster's victim in a cellar, but are forced to flee after being ambushed by the monster. Wednesday leads Galpin to the cellar only to find it empty. At Nevermore, Wednesday convinces him not to expel her to further pursue her investigation. At the hospital, an unknown figure kills Mayor Walker. Laurel Gates is played by Christina Ricci, and she she plays Marilyn Thornhill, the botany teacher. And take note that Richie portrayed Wednesday Adams in the Adams Family and Adams Family Values film way back. So, episode 7, If You Don't Know Me by Now. At Mayor Walker's funeral, Wednesday notices a lurking figure and uh, chases it into the forest. The figure is revealed to be Uncle Fester, who explains to Wednesday that the monster she's been investigating is a hide. Together, they retrieve a diary from the hidden library, which reveals that a hide must always have a master. Later, they track and follow Xavier, who they witness meeting up with Dr. Kinbot, Wednesday's therapist, in the forest. After returning from a date with Tyler, Wednesday finds her dorm vandalized, the diary stolen, and Thing gravely injured. Research into Laurel Gates revealed that she is both alive and the master of the hide. Wednesday initially suspects Dr. Kinbot, but Kinbot is killed by the hide. Police arrive to arrest Xavier, who Wednesday believes to be Hyde. Wednesday meets with Tyler and kisses him, but suddenly had a vision of him being the Hyde and runs off. So, of course, this episode shows how amateurish a, a detective Wednesday is, for she mistakes Savior to be the Hyde, and has really affected their friendship over the episode. And yeah, it also killed the psychiatrist, Dr. Kimbot. So the last uh, episode, A Murder of Woes, this was directed by James Marshall. Wednesday and her classmates kidnap Tyler, and Wednesday tortures him to make him confess. Appalled by her methods, her classmates alert Principal Wims, and Wednesday is arrested. At the police station, Tyler secretly confesses to Wednesday that she is the monster. Fed up with Wednesday's antics, Wim expelled her from Nevermore. Wednesday, accompanied by Wims, visits Eugene at the hospital, whose description of the figure he saw at the monster cave matches Miss Thornhill, a teacher at Nevermore. Wims disguised as Tyler, and Wednesday get Thornhill to confess that she is Laura Gates and manipulated Tyler into killing the victims as part of her scheme to resurrect Joseph Craxton and wipe out all outcasts. However, Laurel kills Wim and subdues Wednesday. Using Wednesday's blood, Laurel resurrected Crackstone and leaves Wednesday to die. But Goody appeared and heals her. Enid, having finally transformed into her werewolf form, defeats Tyler in his Hyde form, while Craxton reaches Nevermore. With Bianca's help, Wednesday destroyed and kills Crackstone, and helps defeat Laurel. Xavier is released from prison. Tyler is detained, and Wednesday departs Nevermore, which is closing for the remainder of the series, the semester. Well, that's 8 episodes, and practically, I enjoyed watching this, even if it is my third time watching this. I really like the fact that they modernize the uh, Wednesday character. So when is Wednesday season 2 coming up? Well, it will be released in 2025. So after the strikes were resolved, Deadline reported that the season 2 of Wednesday will be filmed in Ireland. Production kicked off in early May and Netflix unveiled the cast in a video shared last September. So that's uh, that's the news. Yeah, I really like Wednesday. And yes, like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Yeah, I'm out of here. See you again.
Told you stop killing people. They look alive to me.
Because I saved them.
Well, that's why I waited until you were there. I got the information I needed. No one died. I did it your way.
He does have a point. I know it got lost in all the confusion, but we still have some issues to settle here. There are only heroes and there are villains.
You think yourself a hero, but you would let these criminals go free.
Heroes don't kill people.
Well, I do.